All right, we're live. We got Star Wars D6 Adventures Thursday night table. Got my regular crew. I got my Dave, and I got Jared, and I got Pat, and I got Jason, and Dave. This is his second week here, so that's pretty awesome. Happy to have you here, Dave.
Happy to,
Um, yeah, go ahead, partner.
happy to be here.
Say hi to all your fans out there. We don't really have any fans yet. Maybe
Hello,
someday.
fan.
Hello, fan. Hello, air conditioner. Hello, blender.
Hello, guy that just put this on in the background so he has something to do while he's putting together his IKEA furniture.
Yeah, anybody seen the Gary Busey commercial?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Love that. I like having conversations. Hello, lamp.
Hello, pants.
Yeah, love that commercial. All right. When last we got together, guys, you had been your ship had been forced out of hyperspace because of damage. You were trying to assess the damage and stuff like that when you guys were contacted by a long haul freighter moving from point A to point B. Had messaged you guys. You'd messaged them back. They offered to render up aid. You went, yeah, we very desperately need it. They came on over, put a dock clamp on you guys, and came over, and it turned out to be pirates who quickly attacked and overcame your crew, with the exception of the Celestin, who just basically got a bunch of blasters put on him and said, stop, and he went, meep. And at that point, all of you guys were basically kind of like grabbed and thrown into like a broom closet, storage closet, because they didn't have another place to put you. And as the doors were shutting, the pirate captain of this vessel was looking at you guys, sort of like with his little stumpy peg leg, and he had like a bit of a walking stick in front of him, and he just kind of looked at you and went, "Welcome aboard, Maydays." And that was where we cut to black. Does that sound about right, guys?
I
Yep.
think so.
All
Yeah.
right. Well, there we go. See you next week then. No, you bastard! Not another week. All right. So at this point, you guys, you've probably been in here for several hours. Those people have been knocked unconscious are now conscious. Um, you know, let's see. I'm trying to think. Rita, you were knocked unconscious. Meeps, you were the only person other than I'm sorry, Ubin was knocked unconscious. Dax was knocked unconscious. Jarl was knocked. Okay, everybody but Meepers had a nice nap. Does that sound correct?
Yep, sounds about right.
Yep.
All right. Well, this storage closet is probably approximately, oh, I'd say it's 4 or 5 meters by a meter and a half or so. I mean, it's not claustrophobic, but I mean, for five sentients, and Jarl and Umban both being quite large, take up the lion's amount of room in here. You guys slowly, come back to consciousness one at a time. Sort of assess your situation. Like I said before, it's essentially, a Star Wars version of a broom closet. There are no weapons in here. Meeps has gone through while you guys were resting and, sort of like checking things out. He hasn't really found anything much. The order in which people are going to be waking up are going to be Rito, Jarl, Dax, and Umban.
All right.
So you guys can role play this out however you'd like. It's your scene. What do you want to do?
I kind of just, as I'm waking up, I kind of just look around and did you say it was dark in there or can we see?
There is some lighting in the ceiling. Like some flush lighting.
Okay, so I'm just kind of like surprised to be alive and I'm looking around and surprised to see everybody else here alive as well.
Yep. Gray walls, little dingy, not too terribly bad. Definitely not, spit and polish like that was in the, fourth Star Wars.
Right.
Everything in that was shiny, except for the Millennium Falcon, which was dirty. So this is a bit on the dirty side. So you're waking up and you're quite surprised.
And I'll say to myself,
Guta, I'm alive, Guta Guta.
go off and say, well, I guess this could have been worse.
Mm-hmm. Meeps, people are starting to wake up at this point.
That's,
Is he even here?
I see Fat down there. He walked away from his mic.
I would have
Well,
guessed so.
Can you
All
hear me
right.
now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. Sorry, my mic was muted for some reason.
Ah, okay. Well, again, guys, you're seeing everybody slowly waking up. All right,
okay.
Dax,
Da-
you're waking up.
Dax gets up. He's rubbing his head from the rough fight.
Uh-huh.
Looks.
Yeah, where the captain just went, screw it, and blasted you.
He looks around. He's sitting up against the wall and he's staring off with this intense stare.
Okay. Ubben, you're up.
He slowly opens his eyes, trying to remove the sand from them. Clears his throats. Lo, is everyone okay? Lo.
I like it. Give yourself a character point.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. All right. Role play it out, kids.
Yeah, I'm okay. Bit of a nasty hit, though. He didn't have to. I gave myself up. I wasn't expecting him to hit me like that. Asshole.
Star Wars version of asshole. Poodoo head.
Banta fada.
Banta poodoo. So anyway, Ubben probably doesn't know how you went down, does he?
No, I don't think so. No, he wasn't around when I went down.
Okay.
Oh, I
Oh.
see. So then about 50 Sith Lords showed up.
See, what had happened was I was
Right.
taking them all out one by one.
All right. Everybody has pretty much woken up with the exception of Jarl, who just seems to still be out, man.
Are we still in binders, by the way?
I'm going to say that for the most part, yes. Yes.
Okay, so I kind of like try to, shimmy over to where Jarl is, and I try to give him like a nice kick. Like, hey, you all right? Wake up.
Well, you do that then.
I'll just. Yeah.
There's a, and it still just remains unconscious.
Okay.
Kick him again. Kick him harder.
I'll kick him harder.
Didn't expect you to do it. God, this is going to be easier than I thought.
No, I'm not gonna kick him harder.
Pull the trigger. Pull the trigger.
Well, it looks like Jarl's out. Can anyone try to get out of these binders?
I seem to have left my lightsaber in my other space pants.
Ha ha ha.
Okay, guys. There's four of you there, and Rito's asking a perfectly logical question.
Lo, I don't think I can. Lo.
I'm an academic. I'm not a criminal like some people.
Is there? I want to try to see. Can I bang myself out of these things, or like knock them up against, or try to break them, or is that going to be like something extremely difficult to do?
You can attempt to try and do that, but I mean, it's kind of like handcuffs. I mean,
Right.
beat them all day long.
Yeah, I could struggle. It'll probably make things worse. Um.
Because these are the Vietnamese version of space pirates. They've got like Chinese, like finger cuffs and stuff on you. And the harder you fall, the worse it gets.
Okay, so I kind of look over to Dax because I see that he's still looking intently at the wall, and I'm like, "Hey, Dax, snap out of it. We got to get out of here."
Dax is just ignoring you. He's just staring.
So you're getting ignored by everybody.
I know, golly.
This is role playing at its best.
God. I kind of look over to Dax. I'm like, "Hey, snap out of it. All right, you lost the ship. Here's another one. We'll take this one."
Yeah, Uta Guta. We'll take this one, Guta Guta.
And when you say that, Dax just looks at you and gives you this like evil stare.
Ruh-roh. It's gonna be blasters at 20 paces, boys.
So I kind of like, after looking at the stare, I kind of just like back down, and I look over to Meepers, and I say, "Hey, snap him out of it. We all gotta think on this one, and we gotta wake the big guy up. We gotta get Jarl up out of here.
Durka, Meepers. Captain, they're pirates. I think they probably are taking your ship in tow for salvage.
Still ignoring.
Yeah. To which Dax looks straight ahead. Thank you, Captain Obvious.
Nobody knew what they were. I was the one who was awake enough when they came aboard to see what I saw.
Oh, when they started shooting at me, I kind of got the
Kind of got the
gist of
idea.
it.
Okay.
Well, when the guy basically told you, look, you know what, we're just interested in the ship. Don't make it any harder than you gotta be. All right, it's his business.
All right, so my character gets kind of fed up, and I just start basically just kicking around and swinging the cuffs, trying to bang him on the floor, trying to get him undone by any
Okay.
means.
You smash him around, bash him around. I mean, you can make a strength roll. It will be quite difficult.
All right, I mean, why not? Shits and giggles, right?
I was
Yep,
about to
shits and
say, should
giggles.
we make him roll to see if he just smacks one of us senselessly?
No, I think everybody's pretty much role playing about that way already, so I don't think I need to be smacking anybody about the head and shoulders.
All right then.
All right, 15. Yeah, they're not coming loose. You kind of like stop and stare at them.
Yeah. It's like, okay, this isn't gonna work.
Yeah, look at them. Poodoo. Poodoo. All right, guys. Do I need to move this ahead?
Is there anything else in the room besides us?
Yeah, that was my next question.
Again, most stuff has been removed out of here. There might be maybe some cleaning supply, like rags and stuff of that nature you might find in here. But I mean, like actual, toxic cleaning supplies or brooms or stuff like that, you would not find.
Well, there goes my plan to make them all drink Drano.
I guess, let's see. I guess I could just start hollering out, just making a loud commotion. But that might piss him off.
That could do it. That could piss him off. If that's what you want to do, I'm quite sure it would work.
No, my intent is not to piss him off at this point in time.
What kind of binders are these? Are these like zip tie binders, or are they like the plastic cuff type stuff?
They're like full-on binders, like what Chewbacca had on him in A New Hope.
Okay. All right.
Well, try not to get them too mad. We want them to stay whitewashy.
All right. Well, moving ahead then. You guys pretty much mope around for a while, and the door opens. There's a thin man with scar on his face, a human, and to the left and right of him, he's got two fairly burly guys. They have energy weapons drawn on you. Very large muzzle openings on the ends, twitchy fingers. The eyes of killers looking at you. One's an Itachi and the other is trying to remember what those guys that were in Jabba's palace. I would just make him a Twi'lek. He's a Twi'lek. All right.
Okay.
Go get him, Meepers.
Nikos.
You can take him.
Yeah, I go chew his ankles off.
Okay. And the human stands in front of you. He's sort of got a cocky swagger to him. He's also got a vibro sword and a very large hand cannon. And he's standing there. He's got a vest on. He puts his hands on his hips. So, time to find your worth. Stand up. Let's go.
I kind of just stay seated.
All right, don't make this harder than it has to be. Boys over here haven't had anybody to beat up on for a while. You want to go easy, you want to go hard. I don't care.
I still stay seated now.
Meeper stands up. He likes the easy way.
Okay.
I'm not sure if he would stand up or not. I guess he would. He'd probably be afraid of them.
However you want to
No.
run it. Dax, what you doing?
Dax is still just he's staring at the pirate, the human.
Mm-hmm. And he just kind of like looks at you. He's got a bit of a sneer on his face.
I call him rebel scum and Sulston, so he doesn't understand it.
All right. He doesn't understand Celestin. But anyway, Dax, he's taking a look at you and he's looking at Rito and he gets sort of an evil smile on his face. I'm only gonna ask one more time, boys. Then it's gonna go hard.
Durka, meepers. If we weren't in these binders, they'd be kicking your ass right now, buddy.
Way to go.
All right, so Rito, Dax, you remain seated. Jarl is still apparently unconscious, correct?
Right.
Dax is going to stand up, but he's still giving him the look.
Okay, that's fine. Rito, you're not getting up?
Rito refuses to get up.
Okay. He goes, all right, have it your way. And he looks over at one of the guys, nods, and you're being shot at, Rito, so you may attempt to dodge if you like.
Yeah, I'm gonna attempt to dodge.
All right, then. Roll it for me, please.
All right.
Taser his ass.
I don't even know if it's tasering, honestly.
Uh-oh.
Let's see. Here we go. Do.
Phaser set to kill.
Oh crap!
Wow, that's really, really bad for you.
That's really, really bad for me.
All right. What's going to happen to you is that that's only going to be -4, so you have a 6. You can spend character points if you want, or just hope that you can soak it.
I'm gonna spend 1. Let's see what happens. Do.
Okay, you have a 6. You now have a 10. You now have a 12.
Do the 12.
All right. That is your dodge then.
Yes.
All right. He still hits you.
Oh damn. Okay.
So roll your strength for me.
Hey, Rito, the pirate shot first.
All right.
All right, that is a difference of that much. Rito, you are hit with a sort of an interesting item here. It's almost like a taser, but much, much more powerful. It hits you, and you're like, you're just flopping around like a fish out of water, man. Blah, blah,
Gotcha.
blah. This goes on for a couple of seconds, and looks down at you, and the pirate that shot you has just got like this ear to ear grin on his face, and eventually it stops. Dax, you see this. Meeps, Ubben, you all see this. How do you respond to it?
Oh, please refrain from further violence. I'm sure there's a more peaceful way we can both get what we want. Lo.
Am I still conscious? Conscious?
Yeah. You're gonna be at least a -1d or something like that too. All your actions for a little while. It's a little more intense than a stun.
All right. Well, I try to shake it off, and I just I get up as fast as I can.
I understand. Meepers and Dax, what are you guys doing? Rito seems to be like, okay, damn. I didn't know it was for real.
So he appears to be okay. I mean, he's not like.
No, he gets up. I mean, he's got a little smoke that kind of like comes off of his shoulders and stuff like that.
Be like, thanks guys for stepping in.
Well, they got big ass guns, dude. We're in binders. What do you want me to do?
Dax, Ubben, Meepers, and Rito. All right, all right, come on here, up against the wall. Yep, I know, I see it.
All right.
And all right, so you guys come on out, and you see that there's actually like a group of 6 more around the corner.
They were waiting for us to do some stupid shit.
Yes, they were. So anyway, the one guy kind of like, he's kind of standing next to you guys. They come by, they check each one of your binders. What's wrong with your friend in there? The Bessalus, the guy, the 4-armed one. What's wrong with him?
Durka, Meepers. He got hit pretty hard by you guys. I don't even think he's awake yet.
He looks at you in disgust because he doesn't speak Celestin, and checks your binders and then pushes you around the corner towards these other guys.
No,
Would
actually, I'm
he-
gonna kick him in the shins.
You can attempt to. Go ahead and make a brawling skill roll. I mean, if that's what you want to do.
Is he being rough with me?
About as rough as he's being with somebody he doesn't really respect or like.
Nah, I won't do it.
He's a pirate.
There's no point in me taking a shot too.
Okay. All right. So you're pushed up around the corner. Rito, they check your binders. You're still kind of like shaking it off a little bit. You're like, wow, I've been in a lot of cantina fights, and I've taken a couple pops to the skull, but that's a doozy. And you started like making your way toward it. You're still in a little bit of a daze, and
Right.
you kind of like bounce off the shoulder of the guy who shot you, and you guys' faces come like almost like face to face as you guys are looking at him. He's just got this, big, Itachi have no hair and like two horns on the top of their head. I'm sorry, they actually curve down around the front of their face, almost kind of like tusks. And he just smiles at you with this kind of feral smile, and kind of just grabs you by the shoulder and just, kind of roughly shoves you towards the other guys around the corner. Ubin, they check your binders, push you up around the corner. Dax, and they do the same with you. And just as you're getting up to go around the corner, the human guy reaches out and puts his hand across across your chest and his hand up against the wall to stop you, almost like clotheslining.
Who's he doing that to?
What's that?
Who's he doing that to?
You. He just
Okay.
puts it right out there and stops you.
I look at him.
So, what's wrong with your friend in there?
He's unconscious. You guys did number on him.
Good enough, I guess. Well, let's go. Shut it down, boys. Lock it down. And one of them goes over and hits the door, and it shuts. Psh. All right, now we have a
So
separated
are
party.
basically leaving him in the room.
Locked.
Well,
and-
when I hear him say "shut it down," I'll leap up and try to charge him.
You big faker!
Okay. Let's see. Go ahead and to see how successful at that, go ahead and roll me a sneak roll.
And that would normally be what, perception?
Sneak, I do believe, is a perception skill, yeah.
Happy with that?
Okay. You stand up. You lever yourself up real quick, kind of pivot around. Being a big boy that you are. You see him standing out in the hall, and you're getting ready to charge.
Uh-huh.
And you see him pull a hand up to the person that's like shutting the door. You see him take 2 steps backwards and raise his blaster at you. Careful. Don't want any accidents.
So let me ask a question. Do I have binder clips on around all 4 wrists?
You would have it around, 2 and 2.
2 and 2, right?
Yep.
All right.
Like top 2 and bottom 2.
I'll stop where I'm at.
I
I'll
applaud. I definitely, he kind of like stops, and the other 2 guys kind of like, push you up against the wall, check your binders, decide to go ahead and put another set of binders, kind of like an extra set of handcuffs that are binding the top and bottom hands, so you have a little less range of movement. And you see you kind of like stare over your shoulder, kind of give him kind of a bit of a dirty look at the human guy that's in the middle of the hallway. He looks, hey. I appreciate a man that shows a little initiative. I'm not mad. Don't make it worse, son. And he steps away as they kind of push you up around the corner. And you go up around the corner, and there's like about 12 guys there now. And there's more people further down there. You guys head on down through a hallway, and they're pretty much following you. This guy's pretty much taking the lead at this point. And as you're walking through, you see that there are multiple cargo holds that have been broken up into different groups. Some of them are slave holding pens, holding 6 to 8 different people. There's some cargo area around here, um, and anyways, you guys get to the point where they're like, "All right, over here, up against the wall," and you guys are pretty much, you know, covered. There's not a whole lot of getting away from this.
Right.
And there's probably about, well, there's a line of you. There's probably about 15, 20 people here. And they open up this door, and they kind of come over there, and there's like a viewing portion on the other side, and you can't really hear anything. And people walk in, and the line keeps getting shorter and shorter. Meeps, you were the first one, correct?
Mm-hmm.
All right. There's some jostling in the crowd and stuff like that. And let's see, Ubben, you're actually pushed towards the front. Actually, one of the guys grabs you, pulls you to the front. One of you peace-loving freaks, come here! And he pulls you out of the line and puts you towards the front. The door opens, Iris is in, you walk in, and the thing that you notice about this immediately is this is not a standard room on the ship. This is something that was built by somebody, and not necessarily with the best of schematics or plans. You see that there is a large open window on the far wall. Immediately to your right, you walked in here, and immediately to your right is a vac door, an irising vac door.
So.
And there is a man and a woman, one sitting in a chair, one leg up over the armrest. He's got a high collar and a hat that's pulled down low over the front of his face. Looks kind of similar to the guy that you guys first saw when you came on board. And behind him is a very well-dressed, Asian-looking human female or near human with straight black hair and a jade dress. And you come in, and you hear a bit of crackling on the intercom speaker, and you see the individual's lips move. Good day, and who are you? What's your name?
Talking to the Ithorian, right?
Lo. Lo, I am Umbendant. Dat. Scholar. Lo.
A scholar, huh? All right. And what value of you are you to me on this ship? Careful with your answer now.
Lo, I know of first aid. My days as an archaeologist have taught me the art of the deal. I have a passing knowledge of fighting, though I despise it. Lo.
He like holds up his hand and he like makes like a mocking parody of a mouth speaking at you through the window. Says, I'm not liking what I'm hearing so far. I'll give you one more chance. And he reaches over and he presses a button, and that iris is open, and you see a magnetic lock there in front of you. Basically what this is, it has a white exterior around the outside, and then it's just open space.
Jara will jump in and go.
Nope, you're outside. You don't see any of
I'm not
it.
in the room. I thought it was in the room.
He's
Okay.
the only one that's been put into this room.
Trying to think here.
May want to think a little faster. Okay, and as you're doing the thing, his finger is slowly going down off of his armrest, slowly going down in front of him.
Lo, I am a skilled dealer, knowledgeable of cultures and artifacts, and I can appraise their value.
Mhm.
Perhaps you have found something that you need appraising to
Okay.
get the best deal for, Lo.
All right. His hand continues down, and just before it's getting ready to hit the button, the woman reaches around him and smacks his hand away. There is a squelch of an intercom being cut, and you can see that these two are arguing vehemently. She was speaking on a comm link, and something has happened. And he gets angry, apparently gets very angry, and storms out of the booth. The woman steps forward, reaches forward, flips a switch, the iris closes, and she starts the intercom again. Ubendat, that is your name, correct?
Lo, yes.
An
That is my name.
Yes, an archaeologist with many years of experience, I do believe. Is that correct? Connected to the University of whatever.
Lo, correct again. Lo.
My employer, my name is Leilona, and I am the right-hand person. I take care of all of the sundry things that Admiral Tobatad does not have time for. I do. The Admiral has stated that he wishes to speak with you. I don't know what it's concerning, but consider this a reprieve. I definitely would take advantage of it if I were you.
Lo, I shall be delighted to meet him, I think. Lo.
Okay. All right, very good then. And she says, I'll meet you outside of the exit over here. And she exits the booth, and the door opens up, and there's two guys there. And you come out of the booth, and she's like, very good. Well, let's get going so that we can get you to the Admiral and get this business over and done with. The other guy that was walking around, that was in the booth with her, seems to be quite angry. And he says, take those 5 over there, put them in now. And I guess that would be the last, you 4 plus 1 other. And you guys are herded into that room. You do see Ubben standing there, not much emotion on his face at all, speaking with this woman. Ubben, you see them being pushed into this airlock room.
Do I notice? Does Jarl notice anything unusual about the room that you haven't already described?
No, not really. I mean, graded floor. Maybe some funny pirate graffiti. Like welcome aboard or ahoy matey or Johnny's Hurt Locker. Stuff like that.
Arg written out in spray paint along the wall.
Yeah, exactly. Stuff like along those lines. In fact, why don't you describe it to me?
No, I mean that's exactly what it looks like to me. Just a bunch of Star Wars symbol versions.
Yep, Star Wars
flying.
Yeah, Burlesque, I think is the language.
Yeah, maybe a little bit of garbage here and there, discarded alcohol containers.
Well, most of that stuff will be sucked out. Every time they bring somebody in here that the captain doesn't like or they don't feel as though they have something that can contribute to the crew, they just space them.
I gotta think of something.
Not terribly nice people.
Oh, not at all.
So anyway, you guys are being put into this room. Yes, it's Kilroy. We get it. So, all right. You guys march on by Umbid. And she basically tells you, well, let's be off.
Now hold on. I've got a stupid idea.
Oh, is this player or is this, Umbid going, I've got a stupid idea?
This is me talking out of character. How about this then? Lo, we shouldn't be so quick to dispose of them, Lo.
She kind of stops and looks at you. What difference do they make to me or you?
Lo.
Hi.
One of them claimed to know the location of some Jedi artifact. And I don't think I need to tell you that such things are valuable, museum or no, Lo.
I certainly am no Jedi. It's of no consequence to me. That's, why would I care about some ancient philosophy of, kooks?
Lo, that may be true, but I think we both know of a certain very rich, very powerful organization that's been hunting for them across the galaxy, Lo.
Even more of a reason for a pirate organization to have nothing to do with them.
Lo, who said you had to be the one that found it?
Okay, well, so what are we talking here, money wise? I mean, what kind of artifact are we? Is this something that's easy to get or what?
They did not say, but Lo, they did not say, but the Empire pays very well for these artifacts, or so I've heard.
Okay. She sort of crosses her arms and looks at you, sort of tapping one finger on her arm. Professor Ubben, are you aware? We have no dealings in this. Let's go, sir.
Oh, very well then.
Oh, you guys are gonna get spaced.
Well, I tried. It was a stupid idea, but you gotta admit I tried.
Just an FYI, you could have gone, hey, you know what? Don't space them guys, or I'm not helping you. That could always work.
Oh, dang it, that's right.
There's always that option. Fuck all of you. Fuck you and the ship you came in on. I ain't doing shit.
I thought that was the crazy idea, actually.
Yeah, so did I.
That would be the coward's way.
Okay. So anyway, she's preparing to walk away. The captain, the other guy, is walking up into the booth, and he looks pretty pissed.
Alright, hold on. Can I still try that idea, or is it too late for that?
You can role play it out however you want, man. She's walking away.
Lo, whether or not you need the Jedi artifact, I most certainly do. Without them, I cannot and will not help you.
And she kind of stops and looks at you. And what is it that you propose? Okay, you guys are in there.
Okay.
And the captain, I mean, it's all for you. The one guy that's in there, as soon as the door, shuts behind you guys, captain doesn't even ask you the first question. The iris just opens up on the magnetic lock, and the dude freaks out. He is turned around. He is clawing at the door you guys came into. He's beating on it. He's pleading for his life, and the captain seems to really be digging it.
Is there, we see him in a glass partition, right? Is that what I understand?
Uh-huh.
Jarl's going to try to break free of his bonds.
Okay.
Just pure Hulk it, pull the shit apart.
Alrighty then. Go ahead and make a strength roll for me.
We'll pay to fix that.
Fix what? Oh, his headphones?
His headphones in the door. Okay, never mind then.
All right, Jarl. You're like, and it's no. I mean, I you know me. I really like colorful metaphors, but it's like, oh fuck no. Not even a little bit. So you're like hulking it. You're like, all right. The other guy's in the background just freaking out, and it seems as though Meeps just seems to be consigned to his fate. Dick. And I'm not quite sure what Dax is doing.
Okay, let me try. Well, if this plan works, you will let us go, and if this fortune they've promised me is true, I will pay you for their lives. Lo.
Okay, and we cut back to the that little room, and Rito just runs forward and slams into the partition. Bam!
Oh, why did I have to slam into the partition?
Because you're the
Yeah, I'm the first to act.
the first to act. So you run forward, try to smash yourself against the partition to try and get at him. You got one eye kind of plastered against it, kind of like looking at him. You got a little your Rhodian nose thing kind of snaking back and forth. Yeah, I'm looking at you. I'm gonna look at you when I'm dying. That's right. You're gonna remember me.
I start hollering out, "You son of a motherless bantha! I swear, if I get out of here, I'm going to kill you."
All right, Dax, what are you doing? Being indignant about it?
I'm looking around. Is there any control panels on this side of the room?
No, there are no control panels inside here.
So it's just the door, the two doors, and the glass.
That is correct. Well, the two doors, the glass, the spiraling thing, and the magnetic lock on the other side. You come in one side, you go out the other, or you go out the airlock. That's pretty much what it is. All right, Ubin, back to you. What are you trying to do with this lady? She's like, all right, so what deal do you think you can make?
Lo, we will perform a task for you.
You're going to perform a task whether you decide to or not.
Lo, I need them to perform this task. I cannot, nor will I help you if you kill them. Lo.
And she kind of stops, and she, almost like, what the hell? Sort of like crosses her arms and looks at you. So these are your companions then, is what you're trying to say, all 5 of these people.
Lo, I'm afraid so. Lo.
I cannot speak for the Admiral. I can give them a brief reprieve only. But you have to understand that you have to have something substantial for me to overrule a captain on his own ship. Even the Admiral can't do that very often with this group of individuals without consequences. Everything around here has a cost, even those in power. Do you understand this?
Lo, I realize this is a gamble, but most life is. Lo.
Mm-hmm. Considering that you have given me nothing but empty promises. But I'll let the Admiral deal with you. I'm just a messenger. Excuse me. And she wishes past you. She goes over there and she opens the door, and there is a great deal of yelling. You guys actually see this outside. Rito, you get a front row seat to it.
Sweet.
These two are, he is mad. In fact, you see him scrabble and grab for his blaster to draw on her, at which time she reaches forward quicker than you thought possible, grabs him by the wrist and grabs him by the throat and literally lifts him off the ground.
Rito is immediately turned on.
Yeah, his little antennae. All right. And basically, you can't see what's being said or hear what's being said or anything like that. Neither can you, Ubin. But she lets the captain, lets him go by the throat, and kind of like twists his wrist sort of meanly, forcing him to drop the blaster. And the captain seems to glower at her, look at you guys, and then look back at her, nod as though he's conceding, and she exits, and he hits the button, and the door opens for you guys to exit. The guy that was freaking out immediately goes running out, and there are probably about, I say 4 or 5 heavily armed guys out here in something akin to riot armor. And he basically just charges them, scared to death, and tries to get past them, and then just mow him down. And you guys exit one by one at that point. You see that Umbin is standing next to this slight woman. All right, you 4 with us. Let's go.
Sorry,
This is on you, Ubbin.
As we're marching down the hall, single file, Jarl looks over his shoulder, leans in over Rito's shoulder. We're in a tight spot. Tight spot.
I kind of look back and I kind of nod just a bit, and I said, "Hey, you should have seen it. This chick had him by the throat."
Yep, he did. You guys would have all seen it.
Oh, we all would have seen it. All right.
Yep, you just had a front row seat to it.
Sweet.
Dax is strangely turned on.
It's probably the Asian features in the emerald dress.
It's got to be.
Mm-hmm.
Well, once again, I save your lives.
All right, you guys are escorted to the opposite side of this area. You go through a couple of hold-like areas, and there is a shuttle. There are probably 6 other people dressed a bit differently. You hadn't noticed this before, but this group of people on this ship and in this docking area all seem to have like a specific color that's on their person or a particular item of clothing that they have in common. And this seems to be the same with this group, except they have an opposite item or color. I haven't quite figured it out yet, so I do apologize for that. But definitely, they're all working together, but they're all different and separate, if that makes sense. And they sort of are lounging around a little bit when you come up. And she walks forward, and they snap to a little bit more attention. And Leilana looks at him. All right, hey, let's get the ship going. I don't want to spend much more time on this crate. The current captain is not happy with me. Let's go. Make it happen. And people start jumping up and heading out. 4 of them come over to you guys, and again, check your binders and everything like that, and herd you up onto the ship. They get you into your into sort of like a regular holding area. There's a chain on the wall that they just kind of like run through and put on your binders so that your hands are up over your head. That'd be double so for you, Jarl. 4 sets of hands above your head. And you're stinky, sir. You need some deodorant. All right. So this goes on for a while, and you can actually see from you guys are sitting. It's sort of like a common area. The rest of the crew are sitting here with her. She's up towards the front with the pilot. You can actually see the view screen from where you're at in the cockpit. You see the ship gently exit this ship. You can see the picture that's up on the screen there. Exits out and heads back out. You see the space scene in front of you. And you guys are probably traveling for, I don't know, I'd say about 15, 20 minutes. And you see a group of ships that look, I mean, they're different varying sizes and stuff like that, some much bigger than this, but they all have that pirate symbol on them. The ship comes around and lands in a docking bay. She comes back out towards the front. She's speaking on a comm link. Yes, I understand. I'll bring them up to you immediately. And she goes, all right, just follow me with these people. We're going to go see the Admiral.
Ooh, the Admiral.
So you guys exit and they take you through the ship. And the inside of the ship is very strange. It's sort of dark, but it's got sort of an imperial or gothic sort of feel about it. This ship feels and looks quite a bit different on the inside than the other ship. This one seems to have, straighter lines, and seems as though it's been, special care has been taken to make sure that it's, things are in their proper place. All the lights have been replaced. Bulkheads have been painted, even if they're not, the best paint, they are covered, and stuff of that nature. So I mean, it has a different feel completely. You guys head through the ship. You end up in a large, almost like an atrium area. The ceiling, it's a large room. It's probably close to, I'd say 45, 60 meters across, and it has a large dome that's open to space. And sitting not very far from you, almost in the middle of this, is a single high-backed wooden chair. And there is a person sitting there, and he's got this weird thing with a large beak and gullet on it hanging on, sitting on his shoulder. And as you guys walk in, the chair spins around towards you. The bird makes a squawking noise and then kind of like makes this weird winged attempt to fly away, and then flies off into the darkness of the girders.
Is it one of those things that Jabba had?
No. It's
Oh,
just a bird-like thing.
Alright, I was just wondering.
So,
hello there.
he nods. I'm Abertoba Todd. Professor Ubben?
Hello, that would be me. Hello.
I've been speaking with my second here, Leilana, and she has said that you have an interesting bargaining tactic that you use.
Hello, and that would be... Hello.
She says that you have something to barter with. Let's hear what you have.
Hello. I
Whoa,
possess...
I'm fucked.
No, I don't think I'm going to be doing that, Meepers. Lo, I can identify artifacts. I assumed as an entrepreneur of some skill, you had come across one that you believed to be of value. Lo, I can appraise it for you. Lo.
Okay, that's not what Leilana told me. She said that you had access to something? Some sort of artifact, a Jedi artifact? That is specifically why you wanted to have your friends spared?
Lo,
Think fast.
one of them knows about it. Lo. Okay.
Well, even the Game Master's scratching his head, so bring it on.
Confuse everyone. That's my motto.
Okay.
Okay, gotta think fast here.
Damn, Jared, that didn't take long at all.
Yeah, just a quick checkup about some tickets and stuff for something in June.
Ah. Yeah, fast phone sex. You wanna? Nope, busy. Bye.
I got mines.
I got mines. You got yours?
Did I miss anything of great import?
No, not at all. Ubben is still spinning his wheels trying to answer the Admiral.
What was the question?
The question was, so what is this artifact, this Jedi artifact that you wish to trade your friends' lives for? And he's like, Arr!
And he's stammering.
Yeah. Basically he's got sort of like this deep thrumming that comes from his second throat.
This program has performed an illegal operation and must shut down.
Are we in ear range of this?
Oh yeah, you're all right there.
So you're fully aware of how screwed you potentially are.
Dax says, "Hey," to the admiral.
He kind of like tilts his chin and looks at you.
He says, "I'm the one who knows where the artifact is."
And he kind of smiles. Finally, somebody out of this crew knows of which, and he holds up his hands, and kind of like waves, kind of like rotates his wrists a little bit. Somebody knows of this artifact. Pray tell, sir, what is this artifact? And name yourself.
Now, I only know that from the conversation, I'm just asking this out of character real quick before I go into this.
Bring it on.
I don't know that he mentioned it was a Jedi artifact. I just know it was an artifact.
Okay.
No, I'm asking.
The Admiral has said that it was a Jedi artifact.
Okay. I say...
So you can infer that that's probably what Ubben has suggested that he has access to or information for.
Okay.
And he might. I mean, he might be able to tie it into his background and something else, but he needs to do it, in a way that makes sense and sell me on the idea.
But he's like obviously caught up, tongue-tied at the moment.
Correct.
Yeah.
Player and character.
All right. So Dax says. So he looks at Dax. Dax says, "Listen, we were on our way to go get it. In fact, he says, on Tatooine, there's this swooper gang. They fly under the banner of the Black Sun. I'm sure you've heard of them, but they're not really Black Sun. They use that to scare people off. They're in possession of a Jedi holocron, if you ever heard of those. And there is a Imperial who offered us a large sum of credits to recover it."
So you need to go to Tatooine in order to get this holocron, and then make contact with this person, and then sell it. And how does this benefit me?
Well, he offered us 1,000,000 credits.
Are you going to give me these 1,000,000 credits for your lives?
Well, since we only know where it is, I think it would be fair to say that if you could just repair the engine on our ship so we can go on our way and let us leave, absolutely.
So, what you're saying is that I should trust you for it. You're good for it.
Well, we kind of at your mercy at the moment anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Tight spot.
And Professor Ubben, this is not exactly what you had originally bartered for. Low. Shit, low. Shit.
And Jarl is inspired by Dax's fast talk.
Uh-huh.
And is having flashbacks to how we managed to pull one over on Wicrit.
Wilcrit?
Yeah, a few adventures back. And then he leans over and very obviously goes, "You aren't going to tell him about the traitor?"
What?
He does that to Dax.
To Dax. I lean over to Dax.
Dax wasn't there.
Obviously say it out loud.
Dax wasn't there.
So Dax looks at you and goes,
Dax was a boffin at the time.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's right. Well, I got conked on the head pretty good, so that's how Jarl's remembering it.
Yeah, and Jarl just like looks at him at Dax's blank look and goes, tight spot. Tight spot. Tight spot. God damn it, tight spot.
We're very much like that nerd character from Robot Chicken right now, aren't we? We're all just going,
Well, I tell you what, Professor Dat, I didn't pull you out of the lineup on the captain's ship because you had anything to barter. I'm going to barter with you, sir. Have you ever heard of the Throne of Emder? And go ahead and make a, I can't remember. You got archaeology? Knowledge?
Cultures, planetary systems.
Yep, just go ahead and take it as scholar. That's a 5D skill, so just roll your 5D.
Yeah, let's see here. 5D plus. That's in parentheses plus 1D. So do I
Again,
make this?
just roll 5D, please.
Okay.
Of course. Why wouldn't you roll a 1?
Yeah.
All right. So you will have rolled, let's see, 14 minus 7 is going to be a 7. Do you want to spend any character points to augment that roll?
Yeah. I'll spend...
Well, you can just declare you're going to spend a character point and then just click on the character point macro, and we'll add that to the 7. And then you can decide if you want to spend another one or not. Okay, so you have an 18, which is a pretty doggone good roll. You may spend up to 1 additional character point if you desire, but 18 is pretty good.
I think I'll keep that then.
All right, then. Actually, you have heard of the Throne of Emder. It is a throne from a lost culture in the Anther Expanse, who is in some way connected to the Bendu Jedi, which is the area of expertise that you have. You can ask some questions about that, and I'll answer those for you if you have any. And basically, what it is the throne was made of pure platinum, and it's worth millions and millions of credits, but nobody has been able to find it. Sort of like almost like an Indiana Jones kind of thing, you know. It's like, wow, you know, if we can find this, it's worth lots and lots of money. So that's about all you know about it. It's reputed to have some mystical powers attached to it and stuff of that nature. But if it had existed, it's been probably well over 300 years since anybody's seen it.
Okay, then, Lo, a supposedly mystic item from the Bendu Jedi, supposedly made of pure platinum, so it would be worth something to you even melted down. Hasn't been seen or heard of since 300 years. Until now, I assume, Lo.
The captain slowly stands up and starts doing a very polite golf clap. Very well done, Professor Dat. Mostly correct, but I'm very surprised that you knew even that much about it. What I need from you, sir, and I am more than willing to go ahead and make sure that your ship is repaired and give you your freedom as well as the freedom of your companions here, if you will help me find this item. I have come across some documentation of which I cannot translate. I do believe that it holds the location of the Throne of Emder. If you will help me translate these documents and help me find this item, whether we procure it or not, if you at least get me to that point, I will repair your ship and release you and your friends.
Lo, very well then. Lo.
All right, you guys hear this. You guys are hearing this entire conversation. You guys can take part in it anytime you want.
Of course we can do that. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, sure. Yeah, we can do that. That's easy to do.
If you remove these binder cuffs, we can shake on it, as a matter of fact.
1 second before we do that. And does anybody here have military background at all?
Nope, I don't.
I don't.
Dax does not.
Okay.
No, I don't.
All right. So you guys probably wouldn't pick up on this. I'm not even going to allow a rule for it. All right. 1 minute then. I tell you what. As much as I would like to trust you individuals, I have been dealing with pirates for a number of years now. One does not rise to the position that I am without having certain assurances. And at this point, you see the woman, Leilana. She like presses on a bracelet, and like let's see, I guess a person coming in obviously looks like a tech person, wheeling in a cart. On this cart are a number of items, and he rolls up the cart between you and the admiral. You guys take a look at the cart and its contents. Anybody? Anybody at all?
Yeah.
Second
Yeah.
choice.
Look. Yes.
Okay. Anybody here on the very first adventure? Jarl, were you on the first adventure? I think you were, weren't you?
I believe so.
The very first one with the Star Destroyer and when you guys originally ran into these pirates?
Yep.
Okay. Was anybody else on that adventure?
I was there, but it wasn't Dax.
All right. Well, I mean, with your background as a ship's captain and stuff like that, you'd be able to recognize this. So would Meepers. All right. So probably not so much Ubin and Rito.
Right.
Jarl and Dax and Meepers. You look down at the cart, and slaver collars are on it.
Oh. Tight spot. Tight spot.
Tight spot. Tight spot. All right, gentlemen. Here is my insurance, and this is not a negotiable part of the bargain, Professor Dat. I hope you understand. And you see him kind of like, he grabs the hem of his cloak and like swings it in front of him as he gives you guys a slight bow, and turns back to looking back out into space through that large, atrium kind of thing. All right, so the tech grabs one of these and one of these collars and walks forward to Ubin.
Well, I guess I'll go. Can I return the bow to him, or is he not going to notice that?
He's not going to notice. He's already turned away.
Well, and I say, Lo, I understand that most of your partners have been less than reputable. I would argue that we are not, but I believe there is no convincing you at this point.
Okay. All right. Are you gonna refuse the collar then?
No. He's going to either put the collar on me or.
Well, I mean, the tech guy is standing there and he's like, getting ready to put it on you. He's just, waiting. I mean, he's trying to move forward. He doesn't want to invade your space too much. He wants, and none of that. As a game master, I'm trying to give you as much opportunity to do what it is you want to do. If you're going to allow them to put it on, then we're going to put it on.
Well,
Role playing it out.
I don't really have anything that'll help me fight him off.
All right, he snaps it into place, turns around, grabs another one, walks over to Dax, and he kind of looks at you and he kind of like puts his head back, motioning to you to lift your chin.
I lift my chin.
All right, he snaps it into place, double checks it, make sure it's in place. Meepers, he brings one down. He does the same thing to you. You lift up your double jowls. Meepers.
Yeah, I said
Okay.
I headbutt his ass.
Are you
ain't
really
nobody's
going to
slave.
headbutt him?
Yeah, I ain't nobody's slave. I'm a free man.
All right. Go ahead and let's see. Roll your perception for me.
My perception. How come I can't click on my character? I would like to click on my character. How come I can't do so? Oh, I know why.
because you're bored and you're coloring,
No, because
which is fine. I don't care.
I hadn't changed it back.
Starting
Okay.
to feel like I made the wrong decision.
Oh, you're fine, buddy. Don't worry about it.
All right.
$16.
Okay. Go ahead and make a brawling roll, sir.
That would just be what? What would that be under?
Brawling would be dex to make the strike.
Nope.
Okay. Whoa.
Okay.
Okay. First of all, let's find out what the complication is. All right. Your complication is you lose your highest die, so you have a 3. You may spend no more than 2 character points to augment a skill. So going back, you've got a 1 and a 2, which gives you a total of 5. Okay,
That would be
so
6.
he's got a total of 9, minus 6 is a 3, plus 2 is 5. I mean, I'm looking at it. He's got a 1, a 3, and a 5.
Yeah, but his first character point was 1, his second was 2.
Mm-hmm.
Correct. That's a total of 3. Right. Okay, his total roll was 9 minus 6, so his roll was 3.
Right.
And he spent 2 character points for 2 additional points, so that brings the 3 up to a 6. I get what you're saying.
Right.
Not sure how my math wasn't working out there, but anyway, and Meepers, you need to go ahead and make sure that you're.
I did.
Yep. All right. Excellent. Thank you, sir. All right. So that is going to be on the low end of things. I am going to say that this guy has some fairly decent reflexes, having dealt with a number of slaves and people that they've tried to enforce. And perhaps there's just a twitch in one of your double jowls as you try and headbutt him. You see him kind of like put his hands back and sort of back up. He stops, looks back at the captain, the admiral, who continues not to even look at you guys. You see sort of a dark look come over Leilana, and she looks down at you specifically. She holds up a hand to him, waves it off, and have them go over to Rito. So he kind of like stops and looks at Meepers, and goes over to Rito. Rito, he like motions you to lift your neck.
Rito doesn't want to be put into a collar at all, but since he's still kind of shaken up from the idea of being shocked, he kind of just like he doesn't want to do it, but he does it anyway.
Okay, role play it out however you want to do it, man. I mean, you narrate it out.
So as the tech
this
guy
guy's putting it on you, you narrate out what happens.
All right, so as the tech guy is coming close to me, I'm still kind of shaken up from the fact that I just got super tased, and I don't really. I start shaking my head. No, I don't want the collar on. But he just eventually just comes in and just forces the collar on me and just snaps it shut.
Awesome. Give yourself a character point for a great narration.
Awesome.
Jarl, you see him come over to the table. He sort of grabs one of the collars, like the standard size collar, looks at you, sort of shakes his head. See him reach down. He pulls back like a cover on something, and he pulls out the industrial strength one for you. And walks towards you.
Jarl will take a deep sigh, close his eyes, and tilt his head towards the ceiling.
All right. He clips it into place. All right.
Breath, tight spot.
Tight spot. Tight spot. I know. You're like, God damn it, I can't wait till I can rip someone's head off. God damn it. That sucks. All right. So at this point, the woman walks forward, Meep. The tech guy sort of like looks at you, and you see that she looks down at her bracelet, and she hands you one of the collars. And she's looking at you.
Okay. I put it on her.
Okay. As you're standing there and you sort of make sort of an attempt to move towards her, you see her make sort of like some kind of gesture over her bracelet, and Rito's collar starts emitting a beep, and there are two flashing lights on it.
What's going on? I just start
Okay.
shaking around.
Die, huh?
Meep, Dax, and Jarl, because of your backgrounds in Spacer and stuff like that, you know that that thing has been armed and that Rito is going to lose his head.
We're not
Rito's got about 5 seconds before he loses
we're
his
not
head.
handcuffed anymore, right?
No, you're all handcuffed.
Yeah, we're still handcuffed.
So Rito's
Yeah.
neck is going to become like a fountain of blood.
I'm gonna look at Jarl's gonna go. Put on the damn collar.
Put it on, put it on, put it on.
Yeah, Rito's even looking at you. God damn it, put it on! Uda Kuda, goddamn Darker Fucking Death to America!
Low.
Death Dorito.
So anyway, 5, 4,
Fuck.
3,
Low. Come on, man.
I put it on.
1. Okay, good, because I got to 0. His head was popping off like a fucking dandelion. It was. There was going to be no roll for it. It was just going to be instant death for Rito.
Damn.
Yeah, these guys are not playing. these are not good people. I mean,
When did I figure out they were playing?
Yeah. All right. So you slip it on, and she gives you a bit of a smile, and she reaches forward and like gently caresses one of your double jowl flaps, gives you a bit of a lingering smile, and turns her back and walks away.
Okay. What am I going to do? I got a fucking slave collar on my neck.
Well, I mean, at least she was polite about it. She was like, hey, All right.
I spend a force point to steal her bracelet. Yeah.
All right. At this point, the captains goes, you may release their bonds. And, the tech guy does, he's got like some kind of electronic key thing that he just like waves over the top of them, and they just kind of undone. Click, click, click. And he collects them and throws them on his cart. He stops, turns around, looks back towards the admiral. Anything else I can do for the admiral's pleasure? No, that is all. You can leave now. And he wheels his cart back out.
Or you can swap my deck, matey.
All right. So at this point, he stops, turns around, and he goes, Professor Dat, if you wouldn't mind. And at this point, the chair sinks down into the floor, and in its place rises up a very large wooden, ornately engraved table. Think of it as sort of a captain's table, if you will. It's probably, 2 meters across. It's probably about 7 meters long. Finely ingrained and etched table. On it, just a bunch of different diagrams and charts and small boxes and stuff of that nature, measuring devices, some of them old school astrogation instruments that you notice right off the bat, Meep. It's stuff of that nature. And the table comes up, and there's a number of chairs around it. Come over, Professor Dat. This is what I want you to take a look at.
Low. Very well, then.
And he pulls it up there. Come along, gentlemen. Have a seat. Professor Ubben has paid the price. Now you guys get to dance. Come, have a seat.
Okay.
Meepers will
I'm not happy
dejectedly.
at all.
What's that? I'm sorry, Jarl.
Jarl lumbers over there and begrudgingly sits with his arms folded.
Yeah, Meepers walks over dejectedly and sits in a chair too.
Then he walks over there kind of defeated.
It shouldn't be. I mean, he got what he wanted, pretty much. Just maybe a little bit different.
Alright, then I can't find my dance skill.
Your dance skill will be under Dex, sir. You can default to Dex if you'd like. All right, so you're taking a look at this. So go ahead and roll a quick scholar skill for me, would you, Ubben?
Okay then. Oh, dang it, wrong button. Sorry.
It's all right.
Okay.
That
Oh,
is a fantastic roll. The first
right.
thing you notice as you're taking a look at these things is that the language that is being used, and you've not seen this language before, is very similar. I'm sorry, very similar, as though it might be a one dialect away from the written language that the Bendu Jedi used to use for keeping track of their documentation. You know that for their important papers and stuff of that nature, they had their own special language that was it was not a spoken language; it was a written only, and that this is very similar to that. So you don't have a heck of a hard time translating it, but a lot of the stuff is sort of strange kind of things. There's things about star alignments and you know um, protectors of I'm sorry, protectors of the spirit and stuff of that nature. Just some very strange esoteric sort of things. And very quickly, that part of you that is a scholar is immediately intrigued by this. This is something that in your attempts to learn more about the Bendu Jedi and what was called the Great Exodus, in all of the studies that you've been doing for the last 15 years, this is something that you had not known about. A language connection between these two cultures. You are intrigued by the mystery.
Okay
Anything
then.
anybody else wants to interject or do or add in here or ask questions about?
Well, can I try and help paint the scene a bit?
Yes, absolutely. Narrate out what you see, sir.
All right. He sits down, adjusts himself a little, make himself look comfortable, and then stares he stares deeply into it. Then eventually he just lets himself become engrossed by it, and all the little repeating patterns and symbols he recognizes just kind of pop into his head, not unlike in a heads-up display on a starship. They
Hmm.
just sort of pop up in front of him.
Sure, you're narrating out it. It's like a movie scene. I'm with you.
To outward observers, he would look almost like he's comfortable in spite of his surroundings. Then finally, he announces uh, he announces part of his findings.
Hmm.
Like, lo,
Excellent. Go ahead, go for it.
this is a form of the Bindu Jedi dialect. I've never seen these connections before. You truly have a rare piece of history, Lo.
You see the admiral take a chair. He's been like just watching you the entire time from across the table. You see him sort of like kick a chair out of the way and take a seat, lean forward with his elbows on the table and his hands clasped together in sort of a pyramid shape. And as he kind of rests them on his nose and looks at you. So you've already know more about this than I. Is this something that you think you could translate and figure this out? Is this something that you and I, as two gentlemen, can do?
Lo, I believe so. It may take me some time, but this is much more complete than any sampling I've ever seen before. Lo.
Excellent. All right. The rest of you guys, Lalana comes forward. She's speaking into a comm link, and she just kind of like crooks her finger at Jarl, Dax, Meep, and Rito to follow her. At this point, Ubben is fully within the thrall of his scholarly pursuits and the mystery of the Bendu Jedi. She crooks a finger and starts to walk away. You guys follow?
Yeah, I'll follow. I'm kind of just like broken right now.
You don't, Rito's not broken. Rito's waiting for an opportunity to go Meshuggah.
Yeah,
All right.
You're
All right,
not
well,
quite-
if you guys don't tell me you're doing something different, you're going to go with her.
Dax is following.
I'm going with it.
Yeah.
Okay,
I'll follow.
excellent. All right, well, you guys head on out. It's an absolute beautiful sky behind you. You guys exit, and you're in the hallway, and there is a gentleman waiting there. He's got some round spectacles. He's a human. He's got sort of some fat jowls on him, and he's wearing a do-rag, and it's got a big pirate skull and crossbones on his do-rag. And he's a fairly large and husky guy, maybe not nearly as big as Jarl, but you can get the feeling that this is a powerful individual, physically powerful. And Leilana looks at him and goes, go ahead and get these guys a comm link, find them out where they can flesh out the crew. And she walks away. All right, gentlemen, you heard the lady. So what can you guys do? I mean, Admiral's keeping you around for a reason. Let's find out where you guys can do the most good. Let's start with you, Rhodian boy. What can you do?
Handy with a blaster.
He can kick ass and take names.
Mm-hmm. He can shoot a blaster and chew bubble gum. All right, boarding party then. Excellent. What about you, little fella? Sulliston, what can you do?
Repulsor. I'm gonna repulse her lips.
Cargo then. Excellent. You, the four-armed guy. What species are you?
I'm Basilic. And I start holding up fingers and counting off. I know how to pilot spacecraft. I know how to operate sensors. I know a thing or three about bargaining and trade. I know, and he starts just listing off everything he knows. I'm pretty good in a hand-to-hand fight. I
Boarding
like to climb
crew.
trees.
He looks at you. Boarding crew.
Just so he doesn't have to talk to you.
Yeah, I'm done. Boarding crew. Boom. You're good of hand-to-hand. Boarding crew. Looks at the only human in this bunch. All right, mate. How about you?
I'm a pilot.
You're a pilot, huh? Well, I tell you what, we don't have any ships for you to pilot. Got anything else you're good at?
Boarding party.
Boarding party it is. All right, gentlemen, come with me. Let's go ahead and get you guys suited up, get you some tools, get you to your work groups, and go ahead and get you guys a comm link so that you can stay in communication. So he takes you on down the halls, and again, you're just kind of just the feel and atmosphere of this is just so much different than the other ship you were on. And you get on over there. They give you like a pair of coveralls. Let's see. You guys are not given any weapons. So Rito, Dax, and Jar, you're not given any weapons, but you are all put together into a single crew. And he goes over there and makes an introduction for you. And let's see, Meep, you are going to be moving cargo, right?
Correct.
All right. So he goes over and gets you over into a dock workers area and takes the other three over to docking area. You get over there, and it's a human female. She's dressed in a pink and black armored outfit. And the one guy walks up to her. They have some type of a language they're speaking between each other. You guys aren't familiar with it. Obviously, they have some shared background or culture. And she looks at you three. So you got three more bodies for me, huh? And he's like, yeah, I'm afraid so. They're this guy over here says he's pretty good of hand-to-hand, and the rest of them, I guess, are pretty good of a blaster. Leilani said to send them down here to you. All right, no problem. Appreciate it. And he heads back out. Leilani explains to you. I'm sorry, not Leilani. This person explains to you. In the fleet, when they find something, they have a number of different types of boarding parties, and that's going to be your guys' job, at least, for the foreseeable future, and that each person gets a basic percentage of what they haul away based upon, number one, their job, and number two, how much time or how well they do their job, with the captain or admiral being the final say-so on that. So, any questions?
No.
All right, she goes over and she shows you guys where there's a weapons locker area broken up for each group of individuals or each boarding party. These are locked up. You do not have keys to them. She does point out to you the different types of weapons, as well as a number of special boarding items, one of which is the 0G harpoon, which is what they use when two ships get really close together, but the shields are still up. What they'll do is they'll open up the sides of the ship, shoot these boarding harpoons across the distance, which will pass through the energy field, magnetically couple to the hull, and you guys will swing across in space. Har har! Just like pirates. She shows you that there is what they have. They have armored vac suits, which are sort of servo-assisted with armored plates on them for the equipment that you guys will use to board. And there's also various melee weapons and stuff that are available, but no hand grenades, strangely enough. Any other questions, guys? I mean, because she's telling you how it's working. And Meepers, they got you over just using a repulsor sled, moving stuff around, sort of like a forklift operator.
I'm really good at it.
You are exceptionally awesome at it.
Yep, I'm like number 2 in the whole fucking galaxy.
Awesome. You rock it. All right, Jarl, Dax, and Rito. Anything else that you want? Role play this out, ask any questions, add to the narrative. Otherwise, I'm going to move ahead.
Yeah.
Jar will lean in and go, pardon me, miss, but I don't think you got a vac suit to fit me. And he holds up his arms.
She looks at you. Yeah, big guy. I don't. You are 100% correct. I've got nothing for you. This is a bit of a quandary. What else can you do?
I'm good at climbing. I'm really good at brawling. I'm really good at swimming and lifting heavy things.
Okay.
I have 4 arms.
He can cook.
Dock worker. All right. Well, it doesn't look like this is going to be your area. Tell you what.
I know how to repair ships, starships, space transports, and I'm a half decent pilot.
Well, I tell you what. Why don't you stick with this group for now? You won't take part in any boarding actions, which I don't think we're going to have anything because we don't know of any large things that we're going to be going up against for right now. So right now, just stay with this group, and we'll see about getting you put into another one. All right, heading on back to Ubben. You and the captain, are sitting there. He's sitting there with his steepled hands. So, how much time do you think you need to go over this information?
Low. At least a few days. I need to check with other notes and other works on the subject. But so far, it seems like this could be the key. Low.
Okay. Very good. I tell you, we don't have, yeah. Well, then let's get working on it. And as you guys are doing that, all of you feel this. The entire ship shakes. Now, you guys are on something that's similar to a very small capital class ship. This ain't no small ship, all right? and the ship is shaken. And you see the captain, I'm sorry, the admiral, Ubben, has a bit of a surprised look, and he stops, looks across at you. The lights flicker on the ship, and he turns around and he looks outside the canopied ceiling that he had there that just stares straight off into space. He sees two of those Corsair-like ships there with that you had been with earlier. The one that you'd been taken off of their ship, the captain's ship, and he is firing on this ship. And you see the captain, what in stars name is happening? And you see him quickly exit this atrium and head out. At this point, the alarm goes out through the ship for general quarters. Prepare for battle, possible boarding. The lights dim down. Reddish, yellow, and golden lights paint the surface. People are running around, getting ready for a battle. You feel the deck plates shake underneath you, and the ship is being attacked.
That's not good.
Can I look around? Oh, are we out? We're out in the docking area, right?
That is correct. And actually, guys, that's all I got for you tonight.
Okay.
I hate to do that to you.
No, it's okay. It happens.
Yeah, I was not as prepared tonight as I would have liked to have been. So that's where we're going to close up tonight with the attack, the ship being attacked by the captain that you guys were taken from. Any questions?
No. I'm intrigued.
Do I get points for fighting every fiber in my being to make an Ender's Game reference?
No, because I didn't like the movie.
Oh.
Because the movie sucked.
The book was good though.
Okay, I don't mind the book, but the movie was just like, okay, can we telegraph the ending any more? Can we throw in a trope that has not been used? So, all right, so moving on back to this. Any questions about the story tonight, guys?
Let me just make sure I have everything correct. We're on board the captain or the admiral of this pirate group's ship.
Mm-hmm.
We all have slave collars on us that can be like remote activated for blowing our heads off.
Correct, or with by distance.
Yeah, or if we get too far away from the transmitter, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And we're under attack by the asshole who captured us and one of his buddies.
Probably more than one ship that's under his command, yes.
Okay. Oh, got it.
And to give you guys just a bit of context here, okay, the Blood Corsairs, Fubar. And by the way, Jarl, you don't actually see the captain take off because you're off in a different section of the ship, but if you wanted to try and do that, you certainly could. I'm not going to say you can't. Basically, this is how it works, and you guys would be given some of this information because I'm kind of surprised nobody asked about it. How does this whole pirate fleet thing work? All right, basically what happens is there are several pirate captains working together. Through political wranglings and stuff of that nature and just force of character and leadership, one person is elected, or the person that everybody believes is going to do the best job, making them the most money, is elected to the admiral position. And the admiral basically rides command over all these other captains. Now, each one of these captains has, they're all working together to make money. And the whole idea is that at any time a captain can leave, all right, or can assume to, try and move up the ladder, become an admiral himself or whatever. So basically what happened is the current admiral basically caused a captain to lose face by overruling him on his own ship and removing not only Professor Dat, but for additional people. And basically they told him, suck it. I'm the admiral. Deal with it. If you don't like it, do something about it. And the captain is sort of butthurt and feels like he has to do something to save face. And in doing so, what he's done is he's attacking the admiral's ship.
Oh,
So now you've got you're pretty much right in the middle of a pissing match between the pirates in this group.
Yep.
So,
All right.
any other questions or background information that people would like explained to them that I can?
are the Bendu Jedi a reference to Jolie Bendu?
No. The Bendu Jedi were a group of Jedi 500 years ago who had a different opinion about the Force. And they broke away from the Jedi on Coruscant and went on what was called the Great Exodus. And the
Sith.
Empire has removed or expunged whatever data they can referring to the Jedi and other Force disciplines from basic, from education, from public records, from the historical record as much as they can. Even going back and looking at it, Professor Dat, you've been able to get some information that was in some odd places and stuff of that nature. And one thing that you have noticed is that you were able to get some of the Jedi data core information, just very little of it, that was saved. And what little information you've been able to get, even the Jedi before their fall, 20 years ago, or I'm sorry, 19 years ago, had expunged all record of the Bendu Jedi from their records, which is something that they say that they don't do. Or at that time they said they wouldn't. So for some political reason, the Bendu Jedi references to the Jedi Order were expunged. Now, with the information that you've been gathering over the last couple of years, the Bendu Jedi went on what was called the Great Exodus, and for the next 500 years, or thereabouts, 300 to 400 years, they traveled what was called the Great Exodus. And what they were trying to do was, through this exodus, they felt the Force would lead them to where they needed to go to have a better understanding of the Force. And what would happen is, sometimes they would go to a planet and they would set up like a temporary settlement and then move on. And the reason that you have been spending so much time on Jovor 5 is, one, it is believed that all of the carved faces and heads that are in orbit are the last generation, or those individuals that were important to the Bendu Jedi, for some odd reason have been carved and placed in orbit. It's also the last recorded place that the Bendu Jedi had a long-term presence on, meaning they actually had buildings and stuff of that nature. So they had to been here for, longer than a couple of years, and this is supposedly the last place they were before they disappeared from the galactic record. So that gives you a little bit of idea about the Bendu Jedi. Any other additional questions about them?
No, that's all I can think about for them.
Okay. All right then. Any question about mechanics tonight, guys?
Nope.
Should I have been rolling persuasion skills?
Persuasion could have been used in that situation. What I was wanting you to do is I wanted to see where you're going with your role playing, and then basing, whether a persuasion would be used or not. And you were kind of all over the place a little bit. you kind of got caught flat-footed. I don't think that you're prepared to, role play out that scene. It seemed like it was a bit, um, maybe it was almost a little unfair to drop it on you like that. So I didn't have you roll it. We just role played it out as opposed to letting the dice dictate what happened.
Well, he is supposed to come off as scattered and aloof. At least that's what it says in his personality here.
Yep, you guys did a fairly good job tonight. I was really happy with everybody. Now I know that moving on to the third thing I always ask, basically, guys, how did I do tonight? I know that I was a bit scattered. My descriptions were not where they needed to be. I really felt as though, I could have done a better job, but I just was not prepared. I didn't have the notes like I normally would to go from. I didn't have my plot completely plotted out. But other than that, I mean, what were some of your observations tonight that I can, we can, some suggestions you can give me so that I can make it better? What were your observations this evening?
I mean,
Well,
I'm not gonna say that you didn't do a bad job because I mean I thought you were okay. I mean that's sometimes how it happens. You can't help that. I mean as long as you're able to piece everything together, you were doing fine by in my book.
Okay. Anyone else have any observations, constructive criticisms, anything along those lines?
well, we are our own worst critics, you know? And just, in the end, projects are never really completed. They're more abandoned. So, I guess what I'm trying to say is, I don't really have any complaints that aren't immediately resolved on their own.
Okay. Um, Jared, do you have anything to throw in there? Sorry, Dave, anybody?
Nope.
Uh,
I don't.
All right.
Don't
Well, I
beat,
will. I will definitely be better prepared next week, guys.
don't beat yourself up about it, man.
All right. If we're done talking about Star Wars, I'm going to go ahead and stop the broadcast. We can hang out and talk a little bit more if you guys want, and I'm going to go ahead and stop that.